we said you work with various large organizations within the Netherlands. Can you maybe give an example of an organization that you saw was very resilient to the changes due to COVID-19?
Yes, yeah, thanks. Well, yeah, resilience is really very important in this kind of crises. And there are several very nice examples what I could mention, but I will come up later with these. For now, I will remark Ahoy, and I think a lot of Dutch people know about this situation. It's a big event hall in Holland, and they were supposed to host a Eurovision Song Festival half May. And they, I spoke to the director, and they heard on March 18th that the whole event was cancelled because due to COVID-19. And imagine that there are a lot of people working 24/7 to make this biggest party of the year in Holland, because the Eurovision Song Festival is coming to Holland. So it was really an incredible thing, and a lot of organization around it, and then suddenly it didn't, it was cancelled. And within 2 weeks' time, they know to refocus again, and they decided to turn around Ahoy from a fest location to a care location for corona patients, and on April 14th, so that's about almost 4 weeks later, the whole Ahoy was settled to get 700 corona patients to be cared there. So I think that is really a very nice example of resilience. Yeah.
We don't know where the common ground is that helps us to settle to higher places again. And I think that is a totally different kind of mindset we're not used to adopt. Of course, in crises, we know that we cannot always go up. We sometimes have a little bit downs, but normally those downs were interpreted from the perspective of, let's see how we can climb again. But a lot of people are not yet in the mindset of how to climb again. They're in the mindset of, what is the new normal? What is the tableland, the plateau from which we can build things again? And this is, I think, fundamental insecurity that is different from, let's say, the insecurity we normally have when we try to strive for new goals and our heads are up in the air.
If I look at COVID, I think you have two things. So on the one hand, building on what we said was saying, so giving clarity in the here and now to take the heat off, so to make sure that people can really, that they can run, and at the same time, providing clarity in a world that is uncertain. So that's in a way, it's a bias, right? So there's that uncertain world where we don't know what the next platform is, but rather that you want people to kind of freeze, you would want to provide a certain way of clarity, because we know that if you do the storytelling and you help people to navigate in this uncertain world with still a certain level of clarity on strategic direction and purpose, where purpose can be mostly the same, even in this COVID situation, then you give on the short term and on the long term direction. And I think we know from all change literature that I think it's that nice saying that is clarity precedes mastery. In that sense, giving a sense of clarity, giving a sense of purpose is super critical for releasing all the energy in your organization.
What parts of the old normal do we not want to get back? I think you already mentioned some, but what would be the main thing that we do not want to get back again?
Are you asking me? What's my personal opinion on it?
Yeah, sorry.
I think what's fascinating about the crisis which we find ourselves in is it's forced us to the taboos and the dogmas that we've had as an organization, but lots of organizations, around this idea that physical presence equals, impact, busyness, and relevance. If we can leave that dogma behind us, I think the larger portion of the Rabo population all says on a weekly basis in our surveys, I'm able to generate as much, if not more, impact for my customers, even though I'm working from home. So I think if we use that as a starting point that actually says, hey, we use this moment to reset what does work look like for the future, to me that means, at the same time, I was a huge proponent of not working from home. You know, maybe the future, my work week looks like that 3 or 4 days a week I'm working from home because I'm able to, because of the digital means that we have, and 1 day a week because of you know, a physical meeting where it's just more beneficial that I'm present. Think large brainstorming session with you know, 8, 9, 10 people, which is hard to facilitate via screen. Maybe I am coming to an office for that, but I think the office takes much more of a social role, a meeting place, than this is where my desk is, this is where my computer is, and this is where I come every day to do my work. Because I think we've all shown, it doesn't matter what role you have within an organization, okay, with the exception of the 24 traders that are on the trading floor behind me because of compliance constraints, everyone else has shown I'm able to do my work and I'm still having impact for our customers.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Anne, you said, did you want to respond to Mark's?
Well, it's totally recognizable, and I think that's what's happening right now. And there's a big mind shift with all the people now. From hey, I can do so much work at home and much more efficient as well, and I don't have to go to the office all the time. So I think that's really recognizable, and also the customer focus. Because of COVID, if we took a look at survey again, all the organizations are impacted, and 68% are feeling a financial decrease or having a decrease in the financial results because of a decrease of customer demand, mainly. And I think it's realizing people as well, what do we have to do to meet the customer questions and demand, and how can we act around that? So I think the customer focus is much more alive now as well as in the early days.
And not everybody is very skillful of protecting their own boundaries. I think what this crisis asks from everyone is increased self-management. You have to be very good in managing yourself, because there are less formal rules, so you have to decide yourself. You have to make sure that you protect the boundaries the way you want to do that, you know, because otherwise people get crazy. So I think the most important thing from an HR point of view is the mental resilience, the ability of people to manage themselves.
Are they able to manage change? Are they able to lead change? Then almost their base setup also determines how good they are to do it. So if I look at my lens is 6 batteries, so 6 batteries of change, maybe some of you have maybe read or heard about it, is if you look at, if you have an organization that has a top team that is aligned, if you have an organization that has a purpose in place, if you have an organization that has a good infrastructure in place and a culture that is open to move forward and look ahead, and if you then have action planning and engagement, if that base is good, then you're much better able to manage a change that's coming at you.
Lisette, can I give the last word to you for any tips to our community before we round off this webinar?
Thanks, it's an honor. Well, what I'm thinking of is that change, innovation, transformation is really a very important thing right now for organizations. And we don't live in an era of change, but in a change of era. I think it's going much more further, and resilience and how to manage yourself is very important. And I think what Marc was saying is not only about daring and sharing, also daring and caring, but also about sharing. And I was thinking about something what Simon Sinek was saying: if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. And I think that's something that's really nice to. I would like to give that to the audience.
Nice.
Thank you. If you want to go far, go together.
Right.
Well, thanks for that closing remark.